You can fall into a black hole and never actually be seen doing it. Sounds impossible, right? But that's exactly where this story begins. Because what you think happens isn't what really happens. Imagine this. You're drifting through space, searching for a new home for humanity. Silence, darkness, endless stars. And then you see it. A perfect circle of nothingness. A black hole. And here's the question that changes everything. What if you went closer? Not just closer, but all the way in. Would you survive? Would you die instantly? Or would something far stranger happen? But here's the strange part. Black holes aren't holes at all. They're not tunnels. Not empty voids. Not cosmic vacuums waiting to swallow you whole. There's something much more terrifying. They are objects. Crushed, compacted matter. Packed so tightly that the rules of reality start to break. And that raises a bigger question. If they're not empty, then what exactly are you falling into? To answer that, we have to go back, way back, to the death of a star. Because every black hole begins with something massive collapsing in on itself. A star so huge that when it dies, nothing can stop its core from shrinking. Not pressure, not energy, not even the laws we understand. And when that collapse reaches a critical point, gravity wins. Completely. But that's not even the craziest part. Because what forms isn't just dense. It's infinite. And if you think you understand gravity now, you don't. Not yet. Because what happens next changes everything you thought you knew about space, time, and your own survival. Let's make this real. Take our sun. It's already massive, right? Its gravity is strong enough to hold entire planets in orbit. Now imagine making it heavier. Not double, not 10 times. 4 times the mass, squeezed into something the size of a small city. That's a black hole. And instantly, everything changes. Gravity doesn't just pull anymore, it dominates. Completely. But here's the question. How strong are we talking? Strong enough that even light can't escape. And that's why black holes are invisible. Not because they're empty, but because they trap everything, including the very thing we use to see. But here's where it gets weird. If light can't escape, how do we even know they exist? The answer: they leave clues. Violent bursts of energy, radiation leaking out at the edges, distortions in space itself. And that leads to a deeper mystery. If something can't escape, what happens to everything that falls in? Is it gone forever? Or is it going somewhere? Because some physicists believe something unbelievable. Black holes might not be endings. They might be doorways. Passages to somewhere else. Another universe. Another reality. Another version of existence entirely. But that raises a dangerous question. If you fell in, would you disappear? Or would you arrive somewhere new? And more importantly, would you even survive the journey? Because getting inside is where things start to go very wrong. First, you'd see it. The edge of no return. The event horizon. It looks calm, silent, almost peaceful. A perfect circle surrounded by warped stars bending into impossible shapes. But don't be fooled. This is the point where escape becomes impossible. Cross it, and nothing, not even time, can save you. But here's the twist. From your perspective, nothing dramatic happens right away. You keep falling. Faster and faster. Gravity pulling harder with every second. But then something terrifying begins. Your body starts to stretch. Because gravity isn't pulling equally. Your feet are closer to the black hole than your head. That means they feel a stronger pull. And slowly, painfully, you begin to stretch apart. This is called spaghettification. And yes, it's exactly as bad as it sounds. But here's the strange part. That only happens with smaller black holes. If you fall into a supermassive one, millions of times heavier than the sun, something unexpected happens. You might cross the event horizon without even noticing. No tearing, no pain, no sudden destruction, just silence and darkness. And that's when things take a turn no one expects. Because the real danger isn't crossing the event horizon. It's what comes after. And once you're in, there's no turning back. Not because you're trapped, but because time itself won't let you leave. Here's where reality breaks. Outside the black hole, time flows normally. Seconds pass. Light moves. Events unfold. But inside, everything flips. Time stops behaving like time. And space? It stops behaving like space. They switch roles. And this is where it gets weird. Moving forward in time becomes as unavoidable as falling downward. You can't stop it. You can't reverse it. You are pulled not just through space, but through time itself, toward one destination. The singularity, a point of infinite density, infinite gravity, infinite unknowns. But here's the real twist. From your perspective, you fall straight in. But to someone watching you from far away, you never actually cross the event horizon. They would see you slow down, fade, turn redder, dimmer, weaker, until you freeze, forever stuck at the edge. So which one is real? Did you fall in? Or are you still outside? The answer is both. And neither. Because black holes don't just break physics. They break reality itself. And that leads to the biggest question yet. If information can't escape, then what happens to you? Are you erased? Or is something of you still there? Because what happens next might be the most unsettling part of all. For years, scientists believed something terrifying. That anything entering a black hole was gone forever, destroyed, erased, lost without a trace. But then came a shocking idea. What if nothing is truly lost? What if every particle, every piece of information, still exists? But here's the strange part. It might not exist where you think. Some theories suggest that everything falling into a black hole is somehow preserved, encoded, not destroyed, but transformed. And that leads to a mind-bending possibility. Parallel universes. Realities where different outcomes exist simultaneously. In one version, you fell into the black hole. In another, you never did. In one reality, you're gone forever. In another, you're still drifting through space, completely unaware of what almost happened. But that raises a terrifying question. How would you ever know which reality you're in? You wouldn't. And you couldn't. Because once you cross that boundary, there is no message, no signal, no way back. But that's not even the craziest part. Even if the black hole eventually dies, slowly releasing everything it consumed, there would be no way to tell if those particles were ever you. So here's the final question. If falling into a black hole doesn't truly destroy you, but sends you somewhere else, would you still take the risk? Or are you already in the version of reality where you did